What's up, my Fortnite friends? Johnny5 Alive here, and in today's video we're going to be going over the 4 new heroes that come with the Storm update. And when we're done here, we're going to be opening up one of the Storm Llamas, and we're going to talk a little bit about that in a second as well. The Storm Llamas are absolutely amazing, so stay to the end of the video and we're going to open one up. But for now, we're going to jump into talking about the new heroes. So, if you go to your collection book, you'll see the Storm event items in your collection book, and you can always take a peek at the things that you can acquire in your collection book. So these heroes can be acquired, the purples can be acquired through the Storm Llamas. I've already acquired base hype, the purple one, from a Storm Llama, and essentially these characters are gender swaps. Now, one of the quests that you get in the event, let's see, limited time event, you get one of the legendary heroes. No, that's not it. A mission literally impossible. You get to choose one of the legendary heroes. So I'm going to help you guys try and make your decision early, and talk about which ones are the best. Because if you have a standard edition of the game, a legendary hero is pretty huge, depending on what edition of the game you do own and what legendary heroes you already have. I'm going to weigh the pros and cons here today in this video. So, going back to the collection book, one thing to mention, guys, these are gender swap heroes, and I actually do like this. I play with my sister and Lauren, who are females, and they enjoy playing female characters. I personally like playing male characters, so having these events come out with gender swap characters are pretty good, because I was looking through the heroes and sometimes I see a hero that I really like, but like Urban Assault's pretty badass. There's no male version of that. So and then my sister's acquired a few heroes, such as the support specialist. I think she got the epic or legendary. She would like a female version of that. And with these events, they're going to be coming out with gender swap cards, which is actually kind of nice in my opinion. So, looking at the new heroes, the Centurion Hawk is the gender swap of the Centurion. And then Trailblazer AC is the gender swap of the... I think it's this one, Trailblazer, the Teddy focus character. And then the Deadly Blade Crash is the gender swap of the... I think it's the Poisoner, right here. And then the last one, Base Hype, is the gender swap of Base Kyle. So, looking at all of that, trying to do some comparisons, if we go back to what you get with the Founders Packs, so depending on what pack you bought, if you bought the Limited Edition, you got to pick one hero. And if you bought the Ultimate Edition, you got all 4 legendary heroes. Now, these legendary heroes that you get with the Founders game, they're not the end-all be-all. There's plenty of heroes that are better. For example, I started off with AC Outlander, and I've soon replaced him with the Ranger Deadeye. So I much prefer the Ranger Deadeye. And then, Jonesy, in my opinion, is one of the best. However, if you get the Urban Assault or the Grenadier Master, those are much better, in my opinion. And the Ninja isn't the greatest, Lotus Assassin Sarah or Ken. I've already acquired better ones like Brawler Luna and Deadly Blade Scorpion. And Deadly Blade Scorpion is one of the heroes available in this event. It's the female version of him. So let's break it down and go into the collection book and talk about them. So based off of what you've picked, I'll break it down for you right here. The Trailblazer AC is kind of crap. This hero, if you look at all the skills, it focuses on shock towers and teddies. You could do both shock towers and teddies, and essentially every single skill on his perks here all go towards improving the shock tower and the teddy. The problem with this skill, guys, is it's not on cooldown. You have to find fragments around the map, which means you're going to only be able to use your abilities maybe 2-3 times per game mode. It's absolute junk in my opinion. What I think the developers need to do in order to improve this is make it so that both your Teddy and your Shock Tower are on cooldown, maybe a minute each, and then finding fragments around the map would just give you additional charges. So if I found 2 or 3 fragments, I could go throw 3 towers down and still have a tower on cooldown. So I feel like some of these characters are still underpowered. Some, they need some tuning, but definitely do not pick this hero unless you want to make your Deadeye Ranger better. His bonus, Make It Count, increases pistol critical hit damage by 35%. And if any of you have ever played the Ranger or have the Ranger, you will know that he crits almost every single shot. It's like a 90% chance. He's basically always shooting crits. So this is going to upgrade your DPS. I'm actually considering getting this hero just for a bonus slot hero. So he's pretty much only good for the bonus slot. So that is something to consider. Base hype is basically base Kyle, and I did some comparisons between the Founders constructor and the base constructor. So if we go to my heroes here, you got the base power base Kyle. Now the thing that he focuses on and is really good at is increasing the range of your base. If you know Mega Base, it increases. It connects to your building or whatever you've built, and it sends out a shield and it reflects damage. It increases the armor. It does a whole bunch of perks. One of the things he gets is Big Brother, which increases the connectivity by 1 tile, and then Mega Base, which increases it by another 2 tiles, and that's all around. So in all directions. So it covers a huge radius, and then he also gets the standard one, which increases base connectivity by 1. Whereas the base hype only increases by a total of 1. His increases by a total of 4. So he gets a 3 extra range in all directions for his base. He also gets the decoy, plus he gets the plasma pulse. Those are really good combos because you throw the decoy down, it pulls in all the enemies, then you throw the pulse down and it kills all those enemies. It's a really good combo. He also gets recycling, which regenerates resources. You get a little bit of a refund. Now that's pretty much what his focus is increasing that range of your base. He also increases the damage reflected back in one of these skills right here, fully contained. And then he also gets that taunt. So looking at the base hype, collection book, base hype, preview item, she gets Bull Rush, and 4 of her abilities improve Bull Rush. Increases the distance of Bull Rush, emergency overrides, immediately ends the cooldown of Bull Rush when Constructor shield breaks. So if you hit enough enemies and your shield breaks, you get to basically chain Bull Rush. And then she also has one where enemies pushed back will take critical hit damage and be knocked back further at the end of Bull Rush. So 4 abilities dedicated to Bull Rush, which is kind of replacing the connectivity range that the Founders constructor gets. And if anyone's wondering, just to sidetrack for a quick second here, this guy, Power Base, he's the equivalent to the Founders constructor. So there are equivalents to the heroes that you get, or similar heroes that are very much close to the Founder characters. So back to base hype. She also gets something that's pretty cool, which is electrified floors. So anyone that's standing on your base affected area is going to take damage over time, which is actually pretty darn good. She still does the reflect damage, but not increased reflect damage. And then her building health is increased by 15% instead of getting resources back. So there are some serious pros and cons here to think about. Would you rather have your base be extended outward even further, and be able to reflect a little bit more damage back on that massive base, and also have to be able to the combo the plasma plus the taunt? This base hype does not get the taunt. She gets the bull rush with 3 other abilities improving that bull rush. So she is better for combat. If you like getting in there and smashing things with your melee weapon, because most constructors get the kinetic overload, which allows you to do kinetic damage every 6 seconds with your melee tools. So she can get in there, bull rush, smash a bunch of guys, or if your base is being swarmed, she can push everybody out of the base by bull rushing them. More combat orientated, but also has these electrified floors and increased health on your buildings. So that is actually pretty good. I'm trying to weigh the pros and cons in my head, and I'm like, I love the idea of your base connectivity tiles reaching out further and like engulfing your entire base, whereas she doesn't really have that. But the electrified floors are really cool, and same with the increased health. Again, it's pros and cons of, do you like to just have an awesome uber base that's like expansive, or would you rather have a character that's also a little bit better in combat and has an electric base with more health? Now here's the thing, to help you make your decision, the Founders Constructor, while the base connectivity reaching out is really good, a lot of the missions in this game, like Ride the Lightning and stuff like that, you're only defending a small little box. The base does not need to reach out that far. Maybe on Defend the Shelter, the box is a lot bigger, but I still think hers would reach the entire thing if you put it right on top of the shelter. It would do the job. So I really don't see the need to extend that range out that far, and I think she has enough in her tools to reach out the entire base. Plus she has the 15% more health and electrified floors. So I mean, the one thing she's missing is the taunt plus the plasma pulse. It kind of sucks having plasma pulse and not being able to group them up first. So I don't know. I do like the electrified floors though. So she's pretty, I'm on the fence about it, and I kind of weighed the pros and cons, but I do think she's a solid legendary constructor, especially if you don't have a legendary constructor. She's definitely a go-to. But I'm just making the comparison is if you already have the Founders Constructor, it's to be debated whether or not she's worth switching out to. But she does get a badass cowboy hat, and she looks cool, so I like her style. So those are the constructors. As I mentioned, the Outlander's just not good, only for the bonus. So this is something you would take only if none of these work for you. The Centurion Hawk is a good soldier, but if you have Jonesy or Ramirez or Urban Assault, like it's just no good. And if we look at his bonus, increases ammo of all weapons by 10%. So he's a pretty trashy soldier in my opinion, not the best. I mean, if you don't have a soldier, it's the equivalent to Centurion, which is a good soldier. Doesn't have grenades, but it has the shockwave instead, and it has the war cry, improved war cry, lots of buffs towards war cry. So it is a good hero if you don't have a legendary soldiers, and soldiers rip things up. My go-to when I'm trying to get is the Urban Assault. I have the purple one, but I want the legendary Urban Assault. Master Grenadier. These are the best two in the game in my opinion, and the default Jonesy that they give you with the game is, I think, equivalent to one of these. Nonetheless, yeah, the one with the Founders Pack is pretty darn solid, and the only one that's going to up it and make it better is this. So if you do have Mercenary Jonesy, the legendary version, or Ramirez, I would say that the Centurion is a downgrade. So not the best. Again, if you don't have any of that, this is a great option. just to get a good legendary soldier. Now, Deadly Blade Crash is a really good ninja. I'd say one of the better ones. My personal favorite is Brawler Luna, because she doesn't have the throwing stars. I think the throwing stars are okay, but the synergies that she has is all about the crescent kicks, the mantis leaves, the kickback. She can apply the soldier's weakening, debilitating shot with her kick, so she does increased damage after kicking things. Your whole party does increased damage if she kicks something. Really good for melting bosses, and she also gets an energy kick, which is really cool. So that's my personal favorite out of all the ninjas. Dragon seems pretty good, and Poisoner seems really good, which is the one that you get with... I mean, there's a lot of good ninjas here, but I would also say, yeah, the Shuriken Master can be good if you like the throwing stars a lot. But yeah, there's a lot of good ninjas, so depending on what you've gotten so far, if you have any legendary ninjas, I don't really know if you're going to want Deadly Blade Crash. However, with ninjas, they are a little bit underpowered right now, and she is a good ninja. She's all about throwing corrosive stars, and she has a corrosive blade, and she also has a crescent kick, so you're going to be doing a combination of the Dragon Slash, throwing corrosive stars, and then doing a crescent kick, and then also your blade is going to do corrosive damage. So all in all, an awesome ninja, and ninjas seem to be a little bit underpowered in my opinion, but their bonuses are really good no matter on a lot of the ninjas. So the corrosion in your tactical slot, well, critical hits will deal 15% of your damage over 3 seconds, and reducing their movement speed. So it snares them, and it does additional damage over time. Then the main anatomy lessons increases sword, axe, and scythe critical hit damage by 10%. And I believe this upgrades as you level up the hero. So you can never really get enough ninjas, especially if you play a ninja. For example, if I'm playing, if we go to my hero list, I like playing Brawler Luna. Well, Deadly Blade Scorpion, I've leveled him up because his bonus allows me to do 20% more critical hit chance. So I'm going to crit way more often if I put him in my squad slot. Well, if I go get the new, the female version of him, which is the new one, then I'll have the second bonus that I need, and I'll also do the damage over time and ensnare. So with ninjas, you can really never get enough of them. You want 3 really awesome ninjas to really complete your build. So personally, out of all the heroes, I think this one's the best. It's a solid ninja. If you don't have any other ninjas, it's a solid primary hero to play, and it's also a great bonus later on if you get a better one that you prefer to play. So all in all, looking at all these heroes, I feel like the Deadly Blade Crash is the best. Also has the best skin, has a really cool backpack, has a really cool skin, great color theory done on the outfit, awesome hairstyle. It gets a really cool Raiden hat as well. Pretty badass ninja overall. I think this is going to be your best choice, especially if you like playing ninjas already, so you get some really great bonuses. Now, Trailblazer AC, pretty much garbage unless you want that bonus of increased pistol damage for your ranger. This is a decent overall solid soldier. I would not pick this soldier if you already have a good legendary soldier. And base hype, as I mentioned, it's a solid constructor, probably one of the best constructors in the game, but it's debatable. If you already have the founder's constructor, it's kind of it's a trade-off at this point. They're pretty equal in power, but they have their differences. So if you already have the constructor that comes with the game, you're better off trying to get one of these characters. So I definitely try to ignore this unless you're obsessed with the pistol ranger. These are going to be the best ones for you, and more weight. This is probably my favorite choice, second favorite choice, third, and I wouldn't even pick this really unless you play ranger. So that's my analysis and breakdown of the 4 new heroes, guys. and then we're gonna go check out the loot llamas and talk about them. So these llamas can be acquired by doing quests, and if you go to the map, no matter where you're playing in the game, you're gonna see these storms up here, and they're gonna have bonuses. Now I can't show you because I don't know if you guys knew this, but you can only do 10 of these a day, and then the bonuses disappear. And once 5 p.m. rolls around, whenever they do their daily resets, you can do 10 more. So they still show up on the map, you just don't get the bonuses for doing them. The rewards are really good. You get about 100 storm tickets per mission and a whole bunch of drops of rain or lightning in a bottle or something like that. With all the quests available that give you a whole bunch of, you can earn tickets through here, and there's a good amount. I've been playing the new update for about 3 hours, and I've already bought 2 llamas, and I'm about to open up my 3rd. So all in all, this update is huge in terms of rewards. It puts buying these upgrade llamas to shame. I mean, I don't really feel like the rewards in these upgrade llamas are that great unless it procs silver or gold. These are better than this procking silver, and it's pretty much free, and you can earn like 3 of them a day. So they're really good rewards. I think the devs are doing a great job at listening to feedback and providing giving a little bit back to the players. And yeah, earning these is pretty easy. When you're in a situation like I am, where I've already done my 10 quests, you can go do survival mode, and you can earn up to like 1,000 doing that if you do the whole 4-hour session. So you can, if you're playing hard all day long, you can earn like 3 or 4 of these if you really go ham. So yeah, it's really great. Let's open up one of these and see what we get.
You wanna ask me a
Ask me a question.
Hey, yeah.
So out of all the times I've done this, I've always gotten like 3 or 4 greens and 3 or 4 blues and 2 greens. And one time I got 2 purples, and another time I got a purple hero. So the rewards are really darn good compared to the upgrade llamas, as you can see here. So epic survivor, and oh my goodness, we got a I didn't even know that was possible. I thought it was a guaranteed purple only. Well, look at that, guys. You can get legendaries. Great example for this video. Like I said, previous times I've gotten like 5 greens, 2 blues, and 2 purples. I've had variations of 5 blues, 2 greens, and 1 purple. And here we just got 3 greens, 3 blues, a purple survivor, and a legendary hydro weapon. So just so you guys know, to clarify, these storm llamas are guaranteed to give you a purple hydraulic weapon or a purple hero from the update. So pretty good stuff here, and I guess there's a chance for legendaries, as we see here. So if we go back to the armory and we look at the collection book, there are new hydraulic weapons, and you're guaranteed to get one of the purple schematics from these storm llamas, or you're gonna end up getting one of these purple heroes. I already got the base hype from my first or second llama, and I got the pistol from my first llama. So, and now my third llama, I got the hydraulic spear. So not bad at all, guys. They're super rewarding, and so far the update is a ton of fun. And overall, I think with all the bug fixes, the improvements of the game, it's in a good spot now. The game is in a really good spot. It's super rewarding, and not to mention that, but like you also get way more schematic EXP. Like you get a ton of schematic EXP per mission, tons of hero EXP. I blasted through all mine. I had a whole ton. My home base power jumped up from 43 to 48 because I blew through all this stuff. But now it's easier to farm lightning in a bottle, drops of rain. Everything that was kind of like grindy about the game is much more relaxed, and these storm tickets are just so much fun to collect and crack open those llamas. So it's in a state with this current event where you don't really need to spend money. People were feeling that they're feeling forced to spend some money on the game because the loot wasn't the best. They weren't really giving out upgrade llamas. I think it was like 10 founder coins or 20 founder coins for a daily. So it would literally take you 5 days of playing to get one of the last event llamas. Now you're getting like 3 a day. So it's like 15 times better. It's much better. So that's my assessment on the update so far. We're going to be doing some survival mode later, so check back in for survival mode videos. And yeah, I just mainly wanted to go over those heroes and help you guys decide which ones are the best. And to summarize that again, I really do think the ninja is the best and the constructor second, soldier third. Unless you don't have a soldier and you love soldiers, I definitely think he'd be the second best pick or first. So there you go, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to smash that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye now.